Listen up. Sometimes all your adult kids deserve is your absence, especially if they're committed to misunderstanding you, like so many of these adult kids are. No is a complete sentence. That's hard to be misunderstood.
You understand that? I'm snarky sparky today. Listen up. If you tell me something I don't want to hear, I'm going to give you the silent treatment and just punish you. Is that what everybody else heard in Doormat Mom's wonderful little short video? She does a lot of these. Like, she's so wise and sharing this incredible wisdom. She does a lot of these. I might just do like a slew of them, and go through them one by one. I think that Doormat Mom is out here at this point in time, aside from the fact she's trying to make money off of the torture that you can tell she put her daughter through. I mean, she is, in my mind, as emotionally violent as they come. She's filled with venom, you know, and I don't say this in that way of, oh, you're so angry and you're so bitter. I say this in that way of, she uses her anger as a way to hurt other people, and in this case, her daughter. You confronted me or you asked me for something that I didn't want to give you, that I don't agree with. Silent treatment, no, is a complete sentence. Stop, don't talk to, no. And then that's it. Turns her back. And when her daughter was going through what should have been the most joyous period of her life, getting married, right before the wedding, I don't know how long before, but I've done a little bit of a dive on Doormat, mom, mother, person who wipes her feet on her own daughter. Interesting projection there. Anyway, she was uninvited to the wedding. And for a daughter to uninvite her own mother, it's got to be pretty bad. It's got to be pretty bad. Like, the handwriting has to be on the wall that having her mother there is going to be more devastating for her day than not sharing such what should be a beautiful, momentous occasion. This is not to be taken lightly. This is, you know, a beginning of somebody's life, of their own family, of what they're going to build in the future, right? And isn't it interesting that right around that time, and I did see somewhere where it said on the actual wedding day, I'm saying around that period of time because I don't know that to be fact, and I want to represent the facts as I can garner them, like as I know them, right? So what I have read, what I've seen online, is that for her to take her power back, she released the book about her experience on her daughter's wedding day, or right thereabouts. And I think she's online doing what she's doing, aside from the fact she's trying to gain her own supply in the community of other estranged parents, you know, tap into their vulnerabilities where they feel betrayed and angry and they're not doing the work on themselves to understand their part to play. These situations aren't all black and white. You know, I have a couple of moms in my own practice, one of which was on the brink of estrangement and the other one is not on the brink of estrangement. However, her relationships with her young adult children are either going to become kind of distant, or some lights are going to go on for her and she's going to start to recognize that what's been normalized for her, she's now putting onto her own children, and it's going to damage their relationships, right? And so when I say that, like, when a child grows up in an environment that's really abusive and they never leave that parent, and that parent has trained them to believe that they should be grateful for what they got, and then they have children and they don't do things to the level of heinous, let's say, because we shouldn't be comparing trauma that they experienced, and they know that they did better, and they in fact did do better, but they didn't do the better that created emotional safety kind of better. Then when their adult children come to them and say, you hurt me, they go, but you don't know how bad I had it. And they can't recognize that their adult children aren't saying you're a piece of shit the way that their parent would say to them they were a piece of shit. Their adult child is saying to them, you hurt me and I need you to help me heal these wounds. And they can't grab onto that. And we need therapy to be able to do that. And I watch my clients in this boat where the lights start to go on a little bit and they're like, oh, emotional immaturity. Oh, these are some of the, oh. And in the case of one of the moms who I know was on the brink of estrangement, their relationship is incredibly strong now because she's learned to take ownership for her own behaviors, to not look for her child to heal her wounds and be her emotional crutch, but rather learn that she unfortunately didn't get her needs met in childhood and she's left to have to meet her own, that she can't put that off on other people to heal those wounds for her. And that's a part of what happens. I can remember when I was I'm still in the dating world, but I'm in the dating world in a different way. I remember even when I met my ex-husband, we were together for about 15 years, that I would want him to feel sorry for me. I would want him to rescue me. I needed his sympathy. I needed him to tell me everything was going to be okay and that nobody should have hurt me in a way that wasn't his job. Not that he shouldn't be my soft place to fall, but what I was creating was, a dependency there, that isn't healthy. And it would have been really easy for me to be the kind of parent that would have said, you're making mommy sad now. Why don't you love mommy? And this is the thing that gets passed down, right? Maybe not in those words, but in other actions where the children start to learn that they are responsible for how their parent shows up. And so when the parent's really dysregulated, the children either tippy-toe around them and don't share their feelings in childhood, and they're getting emotionally neglected and abused in that process, or they're, dealing with a parent who's like, losing their mind and getting hysterical and things like that. So they're being shut off that way. And then they're going, I'm sorry, mommy. I'm sorry I hurt your feelings. I'm sorry. And they're focusing on that parent. And when that child now starts to hit young adulthood and they realize, wait a minute, the tail is wagging the dog. My mom was supposed to be, soothing my wounds, not creating them for me to soothe hers, kind of thing. Some parents get into therapy and they get it and they start to work on it, and because things happen and they go, I can't continue to walk through life this way even if I don't get my children back. Those parents are looking for, I think a lot of parents are looking for insight, and some of them are looking just to hear it wasn't their fault. And that's where Doormat Mom comes in. The name indicates it, right? Where it wasn't you. You gave them a roof over their head. You sacrificed everything. And I'm sorry, as soon as I hear the word sacrifice for your children, that's a fucking red flag. Because being a mom is not a sacrifice. It's a choice. And we get back more than we give if you really think about it in a way that's healthy and not transactional. Oh, I had to wake up at 6 a.m. to take my kid to track practice. That's not a sacrifice. That's supporting my child's talent. That's a choice that I made. I brought children into the world and it comes with a contract, and that's part of my contractual obligation. It's not a sacrifice. Or, you showed up every day. You went to school every day. You dropped them off. You paid for their education. Contractual fucking obligation. And she gives those parents a place to feel like they don't have to do anything differently or any better. And what she likes about that is, one, they're her supply. She is the god of them all, after all. Narcissism. Not saying she's a narcissist. I'm not qualified to diagnose. She gets, off on the attention, and then she charges for it. She has different ways that she's earning money through her book and whatever. And I wrote a book. I wrote 2 books. We don't make a lot of money off of books unless they're a bestseller or, buy a big publishing house, that sort of thing. And I didn't write my book focused on making money. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I wrote it because there was nothing out there that I could find that talked about my experience. And so I felt like this could be a good thing for other people, kind of thing. And it was, as it turned out, a very healing thing for me. Anyway, I think she dropped the book the way that she did. I think she speaks out the way that she does. One, to gain supply for herself, to be the queen bee of the estranged parents, to have money. And that all of that is like her secondary high off of this. You know what the first one is? Can you guess? Put it in the comment section. To continue to victimize her daughter and to smear campaign her in almost a low-key way, because she goes, I never said my daughter was a bee or whatever. No, but you're insinuating that she's a spoiled bee. You don't have to use the exact words. And if my calculations are correct, and my clients like to say I have a crystal ball, I can almost guarantee you, I don't know her daughter, I don't know who she is. I would love to have her on But She's Your Mother. I would love that opportunity. I can almost guarantee you that her daughter has probably figured out that this is nothing more than a validation for all the reasons that she should no longer have a relationship with her own mother, and that it doesn't hurt her anymore. It just now has become another tool for healing. And people like Doormat Mom cannot conceptualize that, because they can't ever see a world where they aren't in control of their own children's emotions. They can't see that they're not almighty and powerful and central to their children's universe, even after that child walks away, adult child walks away. What are your thoughts? And do you have anybody you would like me to highlight? Do not tag me in their video, because if you do, they block me. And, Doormat Mom's probably one of the ones that I speak about in a more harsh kind of way. This is my harsh. But for the most part, I'm looking to do things in a constructive way, because I do want estranged parents out there who are looking for healing to recognize who they're following. And like I often say, don't follow people who are in a place where you are. Follow people who are in a place where you would like to be. And if you want to be in a place of peace and love and happiness and contentment, while following somebody who's so angry, in a way that she's like demonstrating it, because there's nothing wrong with anger. Anger is just an emotion. What's wrong is when it becomes an action that is, harmful to other people. That's what's wrong, not the actual emotion. I want to be very clear about that, because people go, you're bitter and you're angry. No, I'm not bitter. And sometimes, yes, I'm angry. And, but follow people that are where you want to be. If you want to be in a healed relationship with your adult child, in case you have the opportunity, and fun fact, in the first 3 years, 99% of the time, from what I see in my practice, from what I hear, from what I've experienced myself, I didn't do this in the first 3 years, but my estrangement was on and off in the first 3 years. So I guess technically I did. The adult children tend to come back within the first 3 years, hoping that something's changed. And wouldn't it be great if you were seeking the tools to grow so that you could heal that relationship, if that's something that you want to do? Follow people who are where you want to be. It's not that hard. Anyway, if you have somebody you want me to feature, don't tag me because they will block me because, you know, they feel attacked maybe, and that isn't my intention. My intention is actually to continue to create connection. My intention is to be constructive. Even if I'm a little snarky sparky, I think I'm still constructive. And if you tag me, I can't feature them. So you can screen record their video and send it to me, or you can just send me a message and tell me who the creator is, and I'll seek it out. You can send me a link to the video, and that way I can do a breakdown on it. We can talk about it, because the more we talk about these things, the more we heal and the more we grow and the more knowledge we have on what these family dynamics look like and how we can maybe make it better. And if nothing else, we can make ourselves better. So thanks for being here. I appreciate you.